Oh. I smoke 2 joints in the morning.
What?
I smoke 2 joints at night.
Okay, okay.
I smoke 2 joints in the afternoon.
Oh, all the time.
It makes me feel all right.
As I don't curse him out, and as long as I don't threaten him, I can say what I want. Am I correct? Yes, sir. We sick and tired of that nigga there.
Well, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We are broadcasting from the motherfucking Great White North. Yes, we are up here, and I'm trying to see it. Let me see. It was really cool, but I guess I should get into introducing myself. You like, he never said who he is. He just got to talking, got to prophesizing. Well, I am Big Pontiac, the Time Walker. And I am that one and old galactic daddy-o, welcome each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. This is the Chocolate Mountain Show. Let me see if I can find this to see if y'all saw it yesterday. Because it was, oh, right, I think this is it right here. Let me play it for y'all if y'all missed it. This is the Northern Lights.
Tomorrow night is supposed to be the
And I went out there tonight, and you can't
Northern
see it
Lights.
as nice.
I was watching.
But, you know, the reds and the greens, see that? The reds and the greens, it was all the
4 out
bubbles.
of 5 and I'm like,
Right, right,
360.
exactly.
and I'm like, maybe they're
My daughter took some really good pictures.
Oh yeah, you can even
know,
see it over here. You can see
beautiful
the greens.
Beautiful reds. I went out there today. They said today it was supposed to be
Yeah, right
just
over here
as
you see the
nice,
greens.
And you do have to put your camera
in the
on.
air.
Some instances,
Yeah,
you
right
have to
here
put
it's
your
like
camera
green.
on nighttime mode.
So you can see the
And
greens
it
up here.
comes up clear.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna go out there
oh, look
again.
behind the house down there even. Look how cool it is.
And look later, but
Oh,
it was a really beautiful night, and then it went low. I heard people, Northern Alabama was so
Now
it
we'll all be
covered.
sick tomorrow,
This
but
is
it's
a
so
galactic,
cool today,
phenomenon.
isn't
It
it?
covers most of the northeast
Oh,
country.
look how red it is over here now. It's like
Northwest
really red.
as well. Getting beautiful pictures all over. So it's just
tomorrow night is supposed to be the same.
something that's free. You don't
Northern
see
Lights.
it all the time.
TV at dinner, and I overheard them
And
say,
so,
"Oh, you're going to see solar storms because it's a
You know,
4 out of a 5."
it's just a little treat that we
Right,
get.
right,
It's just a little
exactly.
treat that we get
Maybe they're
from
talking about somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
the
can even
world.
see it over here.
Whatever
You can
this
see the
is.
greens.
Round, flat, square, whatever the fuck you think this is. It's a little treat we get. Wow. Okay, let's see. So we are going to research. No, not there. I'm going to do my picks. I'm not going to take long. Let me show this, though. I will show this right quickly. Let's see if I can fit or bring it up again. All right. This is Michael Ray Richardson, if you didn't know. I wish. Let me see if they show because he's wearing the jersey. This is one of the sweetest jerseys ever. Oh, he's telling about mugs that done killed themselves. But Michael Ray Richardson, this jersey here, it's got the number, then the Knicks under the number. This is really sweet. You know, it's like one thing you have to adjust to is they're going to kill people every basketball, baseball. I mean, they always sacrifice people. I mean, you already saw the biggest sacrifice was Pete Tagliabue. They always sacrifice people. I mean, this is just something that they do is just they sacrifice, and it's like they do it during the season. Not to say sports athletes don't die all the time, but and you know when we look at when they take a young man like this, we really know that this is a really sacrificial year. As it's transforming, when they take somebody like him, young person, I mean, they're really. And again, you know, this was kind of the same ritual. The Jets won. They killed this person, and the Jets won. I mean, that's just how this beast is. Wrestler. They killed a wrestler. I mean, you know, the price of fame. And wrestlers don't live very long, but the price of fame is always, you know, they pick out when you die. Jim Jones, Jim Jones's brother. That's the wrestler, and that's his brother. So we see this beast is a hungry beast. I mean, it is a hungry beast, and it's again, this is a big sacrificial season for the beast, and so. Who is this football player? Oh yeah, Rudy Johnson. We got a hockey player, and you know all the sports. We've got Ricky Hatton, which was a boxer. Another September, we had a wrestler. Let's see, Davy Johnson, baseball sacrifice, won a World Series with the Mets. Joe Bugner, again, you know the boxing, wrestling, it's all related. So, you know, they've taken out a lot of athletes this year. Defensive end, he played Derek Robertson, died in August. And so this is just, you know, they go around and round with this. It's interesting. Paul Tagliabue wasn't an athlete, so I guess that's why they didn't add him. Oh, before I forget, we have Aloha Monkey Tattoo and Piercing Shop. There we go. Thanks to the brothers there. And we have Dude's Boutique, where I get all my fine furs. And I think I got this hat from Dude's Boutique, you know, and they keep me funky fresh. I think they opened up a new store up in Philly. Shout out to them. Shout out to Surly Brewing Company. You know, thank you so much. So what is this shit? So we're gonna get into get my picks out. Week 11, get into week 11 schedule. And I'll go over it. And I think I brought a pen up here. Oh, yep, there's a pen. Good. Whoa. Took me out. There we go. All right. Let me see. I want to get the full schedule. Okay, so tomorrow night we have the Jets and the Patriots. Let me find it on Jets, Patriots. Why don't I have that one? I don't have that one on my schedule. Okay. I'm going to go for the Pats to win that one. I don't know why I don't have that on here. Jets and Patriots. I do not have that on my schedule. All right. We'll follow down the way I have mine. I know I'm going to be searching. It's not going the same way that, what's happening, General Peace? Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. So we're going to go for the Dolphins and the Commanders. The Commanders is still down a quarterback, so I'm gonna go with Miami. I guess I can. I'll go across Well, let me see okay. We have the Panthers and the Falcons. I'm going for the Falcons at home. Okay, this is where it's not the same, but that's okay. We're going for the Bengals and the Steelers. I think I picked Pittsburgh at home. I thought they was going to break out last week. Packers and the Giants. I still think, let me see what I put. Giants, I've got the Giants to win at home. They got rid of their coach. I think they're going to win. Jaguars and Chargers. Even though the Chargers on the road, I think they're on a little roll. I'm going with the Chargers. Superchargers, as they used to be called. Oh, here we go. Okay. Packers and Giants. Okay, the Packers and Giants. I'm going with I'm going with the Giants at home. This is an interesting one, and we might go to the game. I know I say that every week, but I mean, they ain't been doing well, so there's been a lot of tickets, but I just really don't want to sit in the nosebleeds. And I don't want to pay a whole bunch for an average seat. But anyway, the Bears and the Vikings, I think I put the Bears. I think the Bears are playing better football. Not to say that the Vikings might luck up, and I'm going to think about that one because, emotionally I always pick the Vikings. Texans and the Titans. I've got Houston to win on the road and watch them disappoint me. They haven't not been consistent. I got the Bills and the Buccaneers. This is going to be a big one right here. We might see this match later, the way they're trying to line up. But I have Chargers, Baltimore, Denver, Philadelphia Raiders. I have Buffalo winning at home. I hate to really bet against the Buccaneers, but I'm going to just go with what my initial pick was, and I'm going to stay with the Bills at home. We got the 49ers and Cardinals. I got the Cards to win at home. 49ers ain't been playing that well. Rams and Seahawks. I am going with the Seahawks on the road. Now, it's funny, like, if you look at how these games are lining up, are we going to get a lot of these away teams winning? Because we saw kind of how the home teams won last week, the way that the first few games was going. We saw away teams win. The first few games last week, we were seeing away teams win. So, as I'm looking at this, I'm just wondering, is that the pattern we're seeing here? Are they just going to let all these away teams win? So, and that's why the way this game goes, if the Bears win, we will see a lot of these other teams win on the road. We will see teams win on the road. So this is the key game to if we're going to see teams win on the road. But my feeling is still with the Bears. Vikings are not playing good football. So I know I've got the Seahawks on the road. Again, if the Seahawks win, it's going to be this game right here. If we see the Seahawks and the Bears both win, this is the game to tell you. I'm gonna guarantee it. If the Bears win, the Seahawks win too. Now, if the Bears lose, Seahawks could lose. So that's my only kind of little sense to give. Ravens and the Browns. I'm going for the Ravens to win on the road. Again, on the road. Chiefs, Broncos. I am going to go with. I've been rolling with the Broncos. This is a big game. I think they're really trying to bury the Chiefs because, again, Pat Mahomes fatigue, I think, is what a lot of people are looking at. And I think they're just going to put them out this year. And so I think this is a game that's going to put the frosting on the cake. And then we've got my Eagles and the Lions. I think the Eagles do it to them till they're satisfied. And then the Raiders and the Cowboys. As much as I like the Cowboys to win, I just don't think the Cowboys are becoming like the Lions, where it doesn't matter if they win or lose. But again, if the away team wins, the Cowboys could win. If we start seeing all these away teams winning, then, probably Monday night, I might come and have to change if I see all the away teams winning. But it's patterns in here. And that's what, the whole thing about is patterns. Are we all seeing these different patterns that they're putting out of here? Because that's how they did the first half last week, was giving you, patterns. Hey, Marcus, thank you for joining me. So we see, we start seeing patterns. So And that's, that's kind of how, but of course they want to throw us off, but that's, we the educated get better and the educated follower, that's what we look for. We's like, okay, what is the egghead man in the room? What is he trying to do? Where's the money? Because again, the money has never been bigger now for the egghead man than it's ever been. And so the egghead man in the room is working triple hard. His head's probably gotten bigger, but it's working a lot harder to try to, decide this above, how they're doing this. So, but the key game is going to be the Vikings and Bears. And I think the Eagles, regardless how that game goes, I think the Eagles will still beat the Lions. But this is going to be another great, game to match up. Is this going to be the NFC again? Will this be the NFC game again? And one thing I was looking at, where's that game? And is this right here, the Super Bowl matchup, Bills and Buccaneers? Is this the Super Bowl matchup right here? Because that very well, again, because the Bucks are in the NFC. Yeah, they're in the NFC South, I do believe. So yeah, this could be the Super Bowl matchup as I'm looking like right here of all the teams that they've got right now, because the Bills could definitely go on a winning streak. And the Bills even in the wild card playoff is still going to be a dangerous team. So regardless of how they're doing right now. So all right, so that's my little that's my picks for the week, as they say, as what Jalen Rose says, putting it on wax. That's what I'm putting out today. It's debauchery every day. I wonder if I want to see this picture. I know we've been talking about Michael Ray Richardson. And I don't really think people, really know how good this brother was. This brother could really hoop. It was like magic. Like this guy was close to 6'7", long arms. Like, look at this picture of him. This cat has super long arms, quick, confident shooter. Because he was so long, he was a good defender. But, a four-time All-Star, but he just, again, this was the time where cocaine was really going after the players. I mean, again, cocaine was looked at as the rich person's drug. And so what people started doing casually, again, it became an everyday thing. People don't realize, like you get a fucking, back then, it was looked at as a rich man drugs. And, and really it starts off this innocent. 4 or 5 people, like what we used to do is we would watch a game, watch a Tyson or Holyfield fight. And we would get something like 2.5 grams, maybe an A-ball, and say it's 6 people, and we had A-ball. And so this is going to last us through all the preliminary and, most of the night for 3 people. Or even say, not many people, it wouldn't make sense to get a gram, even a 16th. You'd get about 2, 3, you'd have about 3 grams, and you just passed it around. But then, the time comes when you have that 8-ball by yourself. And, motherfucker just do it all day. And that's how people become hooked. And then when people started smoking it, now I think it's a rumor. I don't think it's a true story, but they talk about Richard Pryor. They smoked up a kilo with base one weekend. The weekend he had his heart attack, which seems very, very unlikely. We're talking about 3 pounds of cocaine. I don't care if you're cooking up big 8s at a time. You're not gonna smoke that much. So, but this guy, like Magic, Isaiah, they talk about the problem this guy gave him because of his size and his speed, and they had a hard time keeping up with him. This was a really talented guy, but again, drug addiction. Which hurt so many in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And then, like that's what's so sad. Like these dudes was hooked on base. And you looked at Josh Allen was just smoking weed, or Josh Hart, or no, what was his name? Josh Gibbons. And how they destroyed Josh Gibbons over just weed. Over just weed. They treated Josh Gibbons like him. They banned him over fucking weed. That's legal in the NFL now. And should have been legal in the NFL then. And let's not forget what they did to Josh Gibson. They said they had a motherfucker follow him. So they said that the Patriots check this out. This is how they said they got rid of Josh Gibson. They said the Patriots, again, he's in Boston, don't know nobody. How's he know where to go get some weed from? They said he broke away from the people watching him and got some weed and went somewhere and hid and smoked some weed. They act like it was this shit. You know? And that's how bad they treated that man. They need to not only give that man an apology, they need to pay that man back pay for fucking with him. For fucking with him. You know he ain't got any benefits. They probably took away all his pensions and benefits and shit over fucking weed. So, but yeah, Michael Ray Richardson, and I wish I could find it. They don't have the jersey. See, it says, in August of '83, he emerged from his second stint at cocaine rehab that year, claiming he was free from depression and addiction. 2 months later, he disappeared from this training camp and admitted he had suffered a relapse. So he just gets out of training camp and says he's got to get high. He refused to enter the treatment facility, and the Nets placed him on waivers. That October, he completed and was reinstated by the team. Following season was upset the defending Philadelphia in the first round of the playoffs. The following season, he averaged a career-high 20 a game and was named the NBA's Comeback Player of the Year. In '85, he signed a 4-year, God, they didn't give him shit, 4 years for $3 million with the Nets. Following month, he appeared in the NBA anti-drug video. His cautionary tale began to sound like a feel-good story, but in '85, after Mr. Richards disappeared for 3 days following a team Christmas party, he later admitted to a relapse. So, you know, they played games with him. And he, you know, he was able to have a decent career. He coached in the ABA, but, you know, he just, again, he was fighting some. Fighting some or made an example of. A lot of times they make people an example of. Yeah, they need to make fully legal with all the leagues. This is what's interesting, too. Here today, and Keith Erickson, our Attorney General, he applies. So what they're trying to do is take away THC drinks across the country. They are literally trying to kill the THC drink business. They're trying to say right now is in legislation to get rid of 5%, which is a low THC in a drink, and it goes high as 50%. They're trying to get rid of all that nationwide, saying you can't have more than 4% THC, and 4% won't do anything for you. And that's really what they're trying to do. Because the flower is already out there, and we already know when they, you know, it's too many people growing it, so there's no way they can say you can't have flower. Now in this state, could have what people grew. You know, so if you buy from a grower here, I mean, it's legal. You know, you buy your friend grow a field, and you can get, it's legal. So they're really trying to put their foot on the neck of the people that like the drinks and like the drops. Like I like the drops. I get a little bottle of, I think it's 10. And, you know, every gram is so, you know, I'll drink 2 or 3 grams before I'll play pickleball and hit a vape or hit a disposable shit and go play. Go play. Be nice all day and go play. And so, and Keith Erickson, you know, people ain't gonna forget. Oh, but yeah, today, guys, you know, I had to pickleball it. So I played 3 hours and about 20 minutes. I got 11,000 steps in, which is 5 miles worth of exercise. My physical effort was 4.8 METs. I know it should probably change it. But my workout was 3 hours and 20 minutes. Resting energy, 1,600. Standing hours, 9 hours. Active energy is 2,100, 152 calories. Oh, so, you know, some good minutes. And it was good playing. You know, I play with anybody. Like I played one dude. He was okay, and he was new. And I was telling him, you know, stay later. The better players come, and that's what I do. I play, you know, hour and a half with the average players, and really like we have a group, and everybody is okay, you know. But when the other brothers and sisters come in there, they're a little better. Today, one of my, I got a group of people. It's about 8 of us that play. You know, we play it all around. We might even play outdoors tomorrow. It's supposed to be almost 60 here, so up here that's nice. As long as it ain't windy, it'll be nice. So we might play outdoors tomorrow around 3 or so. And so, yeah, I just played in the morning, and I was looking, I was like, man, I got, because I know it's like I can get 6 games in about an hour. It's about 10 minutes a game, roughly of just full moving and stuff. Um, and so got through that, and then the other, the other hour hit, and I was like, oh, okay, kept rolling. I only set out, I think I only set out 2 times, like 2 times. Because it was, I don't know, it's supposed to, the way they have it set up, the best 6 players are supposed to just play each other over and over again. And it's who signs up, and if you don't get it, then you don't play over there. But I think he got frustrated because I don't know if he saw my thing. I was off the waiting list, and I was put on the list to play. And so that's why I got, but it was so many people down there that he just said, everybody play everybody, which really that's the way it should be. I mean, I don't mind beating up the same 6 people, but, and it's just like when you play weaker people, it's just about working on your shots and stuff too. But yeah, good thinking. I mean, and I say this, I've been taking lion's mane. I've been taking sea moss, and the 2 of them together really help the clarity. One thing I've got better at is names. It's like, yeah, I know this is my 2nd year playing with a lot of those people, but a lot of those people, we played all summer together, and been seeing them 2-3 times every week. And so I'm remembering the names, but I'm remembering the scores. Now, every now and then, I get flighty. But to be 64, I mean, the lion's mane and the sea moss really do help with the memory. Now, the Motivite does too. The Motivite helps. If you don't have nothing else, the Motivite helps. But those minerals really help with that kind of thing. My energy is high. Like I get like fatigued from playing so much. I don't really get tired. Like even I was looking at it at 3 hours in, I wasn't tired. I wasn't fatigued. I get fatigued, but I don't get tired. You dig what I'm saying? It was just like I was fatigued from playing so much, but fires being, there's none of that. I don't get tired like that. And then if I only play an hour or 2, I'm real good. Like now, I do the hot tub right after, and it takes all the swelling and stuff out my back, out my legs, and then I ice my legs if I feel that they're swollen. So, Dr. Sinister, what's happening? That's cool. Chocolate chip chatters. That is cool. So it's about getting your body to move. And that's what everybody should be doing. I mean, sometime a day. I mean, that's the good thing. If you walk a lot at your job. When I used to be a lab manager, a quality lab manager, I used to like going out in the plant because the plant was fairly big. I'd get a good little walk if I had to go to the machines and see how the machine is running, or a lot of times just to get the information, just to get out the lab and walk around. Because it's a pretty big plant. One thing that I would do is I would have to go take the temperature of my lab, and then our plant was like we made fiber doors, which used to be in Mercedes doors. They would put a steel frame basically over the inside of the door itself would be fibered, which is a hard, like they used to make airplanes out of fiber, the Germans. The start of World War II and World War I, the planes were made out of this tough cardboard, make them light. And so Mercedes in the 2000s was still making their cars like that. And, of course, all the padding and stuff, but that's what it would go over. It would go over the fiber. So those ovens, they just have big ass ovens, and them ovens take that liquid and just push them together, burn them together. And it creates the door. And what was cool about the door, if the door had any holes or anything in it, they were so easy to fix with glue and stuff. So we had guys that got the raw doors and there's holes in them. They could just take actually sawdust and put it in and put a little glue, and it would take care of the hole in the door. And that's why I learned about glue from slicing your hand open. It'd be people, because they was working constantly with knives, would slice their shit open, and they would take that glue and push their skin back together, put their gloves back on, and be right back working. And that was the first time I ever saw that super glue would hold wounds and stop wounds from bleeding. And I mean, it was that for real super glue. And the motherfucker would slice. I saw a dude slice his hand open. pushed that shit together and put that glue on it and pushed it together, and you couldn't see anything. Couldn't see anything. You know, and he kept working and shit. So, uh, but I had to take the temperature to every, like those big hot presses had a temperature. I had to take the temperature of that. I had to go to the other parts of the plant and take the temperature, and I put it in. And this is what's interesting. Like I did this for a year, and somebody stole all that information. Like I had and I never put it in the. It was manually. It was manually. You had to manually do it back then. You had to have a manual copy. Let me see what this mug got. Give me a second. All right, see. That was my son. So forgive me. That was my son. Needed something done. Uh, so yeah, somebody stole all that information, and because regulations called for me to have it on paper too, not just in the computer, and I hadn't set it up in the computer yet. So all that information was gone. But why would somebody steal it? I come back, because there's like when you're doing quality, you have to have where there's paperwork where people can come and pull it. This was again back in the 90s. So people had to come pull this information so they could look through it to see if it was on regulation, or some of my peoples had to look at some regulation to see how to apply if the parts were bad or the machines weren't running right. So you had to have all this available. Now, again, during working hours, but then that's the other funny part is the lab's locked. The lab's locked. So whoever stole it had a key to the lab or was able to get a key, because it was like, so somebody in management, I don't know, they didn't like it for some reason. But it was a good day though. I mean, it's 45 degrees right now. It said he's Anthony Brown attempted murder. Said he didn't do attempted murder. Oh wow, this Asian cat died. This cat died. Actor, greatest movie all time, 92, Takashi Nadi. He was in Godzilla, I want to say. Became one of the generation's most renowned actors. International fame, acclaimed. So he's in this bullshit. Epic ran inspired by King Lear and feudal warlords. 5 film, most notably Oscar-winning epic Ran. Okay. Yeah, but he's played in a lot of different movies. According to diverse Hunter acting, wow. So I thought he was in Godzilla though. The Last Days of the Samurai. I thought this mug was in Godzilla. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I thought this dude was the Asian cat that his glasses broke or something when something came, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. That's just part of debauchery. Wow, famous food influencer Michael Durant dead at 36 after a horrible accident. Do tell. Do tell. Famous food influencer after a horrible accident. Food Network presents a cookout and the hip hop's 50th celebration. Michael Dunn, the food influencer known as Food with Bare Hands, died when relatives are calling it a horrible accident. He built an audience, blah, 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 where he posted no frills cooking. His family, challenges, the GoFundMe has raised $62,000. Just 3 days after he and his wife marked their 9th anniversary. Oh, so they say a horrible accident. This is clickbait. Oh, okay, this must be him. Damn, he look older than 36. Wow. So what the fuck is a horrible accident? They don't tell you. They just tell you that he died. They don't tell you what the horrible accident is. Well, you know, they taking mugs out. Don't think they don't take, because the way they look at it, if you got a name, if you got a real name, they look at that as part of they can sacrifice you. That's kind of what it is. And we've seen, you know, even from this, you know, these people have these real names. They start knocking off them names. Sean Diddy, see, when they keep motherfuckers in the news, Sean Diddy Combs, new prison. See, why is he in the news? Why is he in the news? You know, that's, fuck him. You would say, keep that nigga, fuck him. He's in jail. Why talk about him? But again, they got other plans for him, or they wouldn't keep talking about him. They wouldn't keep bringing him up. He wouldn't be popped up. Convicted killer and most wanted gang member with 666 on his forehead. Oh, like they doing something. This is the funny shit. Like they're really doing something. Like they really getting bad people. This is so funny. Convicted killer on El Salvador's list has been arrested while living illegally in the U.S. when his mugshot showing the 666 tattoo. Antonio Israel. Why would they name him Israel? Lazo Quanatella was arrested last month for driving without a license, but is wanted in his home country for a slew of terrifying felonies, including extortion, drug possession, aggravated homicide. What the fuck is all this shit on his nose? He's got a, I don't know, tattoo on the nose? Oh, the legal immigrant who had other tattoos covering the rest of his face under the giant is also a confirmed member of the 18th Street Gang, a foreign terrorist organization, and was El Salvador's most wanted gang members list. The department said in a statement, the gang member on El Salvador's most list is a perfect example of ICE targeting the worst of the worst. He may lack a violent rap sheet in the U.S., but criminal, illegal, alien is clearly a public safety threat. His arrest was proof that ICE is arresting criminals before they can victimize Americans. It's not immediately clear when the gangbanger came to U.S., but living here unlawfully for some time. Oh, and then she's got a pose. Look at this. This is just a straight up pose. 18th Street Gang, known as the Barrero 18, is one of the South Central's largest and most violent criminal networks. Around 70% of ICE involve illegal aliens. Only, what about the 30%? There's just regular aliens that was working. So, attack on the melanated folks. They ain't doing nothing but Germans, Irish, South Africans. Yeah. They are trying to turn back the time of Jim Crow, y'all. The times of Jim Crow. Beloved Super Mario Brothers creator dead at 69. Wow. Okay. I didn't know nothing about this motherfucker. Beloved Super Mario Brother created dead at 69. So the gaming and manga communities are mourning the death of Super Mario artist Kazu Maritoyo. You'd swear this is Italian and he's European. Illustrated the fan favorite Super Mario manga, which ran for 10 years. Wow, I did not know that. My brother passed away. Everyone helped during my life. We call the exact cause of death is not confirmed. He was 69, so this mug was 4 or 5 years older than me. So he wrote the manga of Super Mario. They had to get the rights from whoever invented it. But again, looks European, doesn't it? Look at that. Looks European. The character, no doubt, no way, still looks like he's Italian. So that's what I don't get about manga, is why do they make him look European? And you see a few, you know, with the slanted eyes, but a lot of times they eyes be closed, hair be over the eyes. But why do they make them, you know, look like Europeans? That's what I don't get. That's what I don't get. I guess I'm gonna watch some. Well, probably be pro and college basketball on tonight. What time is it? Yeah, about 6. It's got to be coming on. Man, I bought a nice piece of salmon, and I'm gonna say I can't get it right now. I've got to find a place that doesn't sell the farm raised, because that's, you know, the bullshit they be giving them. But I bought a nice piece of salmon. It must have been like this long and about this wide. I mean, the pieces is like that. I'm gonna eat some of my old salmon, but I end up cutting about 6 pieces off of it. 6 nice chunky pieces. And you know, this I didn't weigh myself today, but this, you know, again, I'm off of pretty much red meats. And I'm down to 220 again, you know. Oh, I know what I can talk about for a second. So I bought these back in maybe June. Yeah, I think I bought these before my birthday. So, and these are I think they're the 996. I don't know if they're the 699s. Yeah, they must be the 699s. And this is a court shoe. And so this replaced this one. See where they have the small end, and this one still has the MB, and this one just has a small end. And then this one, you know, I played all summer outside with these. And, you know, I must admit, and I've had these for about a year. No, they're not even a year. I bought these probably in June. I bought these in June, yeah. So I bought both pair, I think, in June. Because I saw that they had the better pair. They had the newer pair, so I went and bought them. And so this is wearing it out, you know. If I play outdoors, I'm going to wear these instead of these. I'm going to just wear these indoors. But very impressed. I would say for a court shoe, very comfortable for what it's trying to do. I'm tempted to go buy another pair just to have 2 fresh pairs. Again, I've been sitting on these, and just I've worn them a couple times, but today was the first day I played in them, and really enjoyed playing in them. And I don't know if they still have these, you know, if you can still find these. Everywhere I've looked so far, I've been sold out. I've definitely didn't see these in stores, you know. So, and Nike has a comparable shoes, but comfort-wise, yeah, I was really digging it. Really digging the comfort, especially with my insoles in there. So, wanted to give that a holler because we might play outdoors tomorrow. So I was gonna wash all my shit. Yeah, because outside you get your stuff gets funky when you play outside, but inside not as bad. 17. God damn, this is debauchery like a motherfucker. 17-month-old drowned in the bathtub after ingesting cocaine. Father charged with murder. Wow. Yeah. says the child father's left over 3 hours. 1 year after 70, this, wow. That is crazy. I got waiting for a video, but a motherfucker left a baby, a 17-month-old for 3 hours, it looks like, and left cocaine just around. Let's see if I can get it without doing another commercial. Okay, here we go. Evans police points to the child's father. The child's father left his baby unattended over 3 hours and told someone to get rid of drugs. More than a year after a 17-month-old drowned in the bathtub in this home, this indictment reveals new details in the case. All the police and the fire trucks and everybody going up the hill. I didn't hear what it was for after a year. Was shocked to learn about the police actually happened. It's hard to believe. The child's father, convicted felon, is charged with felony murder, murder in the second degree, tampering with evidence. Police say the crimes happened on Windsor Court. This is somewhere in Atlanta. And Kinshaw, his 17, walked up 2 flights of stairs, turned the water on, and climbed into the bathtub. Hamilton told police he was asleep with the child and his 4-year-old before it happened. But according to the newly found indictment, police say the child ingested cocaine before he drowned. They say the drugs was a significant contributing factor to his infant's death. Police say Hamilton's 4-year-old tried to get Hamilton to help him, but couldn't get his father's attention. He couldn't wake him up. He's accused of telling someone to get rid of a bag of drugs while he was on the phone. Wow. Asked him to remove other evidence. So he was getting high, and he was in a probably stupor. Man, y'all know. Yeah. You don't even know what to say about that one. Hendon Hooker takes a hit. This is due to playing A&T's son, Alan Hooker's son. Former Tennessee Vols quarterback Hendon Hooker's NFL career takes a hit that may not recover. Time be running out former Tennessee Vols quarterback Henderson Hooker's NFL career. Hooker, a Greensboro native, again, his daddy played for A&T, who will be 28, was released by Detroit before the start of the season. The former Vol was signed to the Panthers practice squad, but was released earlier this month. Third selection Lions has completed just six passes for 60 yards. Wow, he ain't played none in a regular game. Coach told reporters that it's likely Hooker or Mike White to the practice squad ahead of the team's matchup in Atlanta, serve as the number 3 quarterback behind Young and Andy Dalton. Decided White instead of Hooker. So they got rid of him. Feels like a bad sign for Hooker's future and NFL career. If he can't land a spot in his hometown team's practice squad, aged in his 27, it seems likely he's going to run out. Good news for Hooker is that he can look for, as a former Vols quarterback, Josh Gibbs, in the career for encouragement. Josh didn't start until the 6th season. Hooker's career is on life support. Yeah, well, it doesn't look good for the brother. Detroit, he was number 2 for a long time. I wonder what made Detroit get rid of him. You know, because Detroit put a pretty big vested interest in him. And why would they get rid of him all of a sudden? So, part of the debauchery. Father of 9 killed in Castro Valley road rage. Wow. Eddie Murphy's 10 children, including daughter, grades big screen. Who cares? You know, I got 7 children. So, you know, why we care about Eddie Murphy's children so much? That I don't know. This is funny shit here. The top 5 best low-top basketball shoes. This shoe sucks. This shoe is old. If you can find one, it sucks. This shoe sucks. This shoe ain't bad, but it pretty much sucks. This shoe sucks. This shoe ain't bad. Ain't no way you can hoop in these. Ain't no way you can hoop in these. So this is all advertisement. You can't hoop in these. This is not a great shoe either. This is like the Harding, what, 5? Not a great shoe. Not a great shoe. Like this is sponsored. Not a great shoe. The Dame 8? Come on now. You might, where you gonna find these old ass shoes at? I would say comfort wise, these is the most comfortable, but again, you can get a lot better than these. Nobody wants these old ass shoes. It's just funny the shit they'll put out there. Nobody wants that bullshit. Jordan 14 men's shoes, never miss a good bargain. Oh, okay. I still think the Carolina blue ones are the nicest of these. You know, and these are 173. Where we at? Oh, what is this? Where are we at? Pass. I've got the black and white ones. Pass. I only like the Carolina blue ones. Pass. I have these. Pass. I don't like 2, 3, and 4s. Pass. This is the best one. This is the best one. And these ain't the ones I had. Mine was more Carolina blue, but it was closer to this one. The best one of all from 1 to 14, this was by far the best. By far the best they made up to this point. This was by far the best shoe that they had made, as far as comfort. And, you know, the only reason the flames came loose, and, you know, you get Nikes, you can always send them back. Within 2 years, if you get a pair of Nikes, because of something, you know, this started peeling on me. This kind of, but I hated sending the shoes in. I was hoping they would send this shoe back to me, but they gave me the 15s before they was released. I was hoping to get a pair like these back, and they gave me that bullshit 15, which you couldn't hoop in. Pass. I don't wear 3s and 4s. Pass. Again, that one up there is nicer. Yeah, don't do that one. Pass. I would not buy these. I mean, these most uncomfortable shoes. I got like 2 pair of Air Jordan 1s. Pass. I like these. I've got the winter boots, but they're hard as hell to put on. These are hard as hell to put on. All these straps and shit and that inner booty. Yeah, I hate going over people's houses when I wear my 8 boots because they're hard to put on. So that's why I pass for these. Nike Air 6 rings. I got the 6-ring boots. They call these the Mexican Jordans, but I got the 6-ring boots. The boots are fly. But yeah, none of these. I've got 13s, but again in the Carolina blue, not in that ugly shit. I like the blue. Can't say I love the shoe. Guess they'll show more, y'all. I'm a sneakerhead. I got the Carolina blue version. I've got the taxis with the yellow in there, and that's the only difference. Again, I think I had the French ones, but again, I got the black and white ones and the Carolina blue ones. That's the latest one I got is Anthony's. These aren't bad. I kind of hate I missed out on those. I love 2s. I really do. If you're talking about a good leather shoe, I love 2s. And they're comfortable, more comfortable than 3 and 4s, but I do love 2s. So, what? That's what I'm trying to. It says Klarna. I don't know what site this is. This is I don't know. Yeah, it's Klarna. It's under Klarna. Yeah, under Klarna shop, I guess. You can get these, and I guess you can get payments on these motherfuckers. I guess you can get payments on these motherfuckers. Shit. Where am I at? Again, the Carolina blues are the nicest, and I don't mind that one. I don't mind 6s, 5 and 6s. I don't mind. This is an interesting one. I was looking at this one to see if I could play pickleball in these because they're probably pretty cushiony. So I'm gonna try a pair of these on to see if I can play because see they're pretty inexpensive too. They're on the Nike app more than these where I don't think I could play pickleball in them. I don't think you could play in them. It's funny. The original ones back in the '90s, the toe crimped pretty bad, and my new pair, same thing. That's the bad thing about this brand, this model here, the 13s, is the toe crimped. And my new ones do the same thing. I think this is about it. Same old bullshit over and over again. Yeah, same. I wish I could have the cleats back in the day. That's one thing about getting old. I would have been the first to have some of that shit. I did have this pair too. I did have this pair. So I had two 14s. Yeah, I did have this pair. I remember who I gave them to. I gave these to Jasmine. I think Jasmine's still alive, but I gave them to Jasmine. They sit like when I used to play semi-pro basketball, I was buying shoes, all the time, and they would just sit in my basement when shoes get old. And I gave a lot of those original drop Jordans away to people. My partner, Big Eric, was always over there. I know you got some shoes over there. Yeah, go in the basement, pick out what you like. Because, it just was no interest in keeping the shoes back then. Wife bitching, why you got all these shoes all around? So, I don't know. I like everything about athletics. I like the athletic clothes, I like the shoes. I like wearing hats, I love wearing hats. And it's just like, that's why I like this time of year. And even the summer, it ain't just about wearing baseball hats all the time, dress hats. Or even these kind of Apple hats, So, I don't know. I just don't think younger generations look at it. It's like everybody just want to wear baseball hats. And there's more than just wearing baseball hats. I wear the Godfather hats. I wear dress hats. I love these type of hats. It's one of my favorite hats. Just a small little bill, just goes with everything. And blue's my favorite color. I look in there, I have one red shirt, red and white Adidas shirt. That's it. Everything else is pretty much blue. Because that's what I love. I think I vibrate the highest when I wear blue. So, I've been seeing a lot of LaToya Jackson. It just makes me wonder, are they going to kill her? Because, I don't know. It's just like I was wondering that about Dennis Rodman a few years ago, but yeah, he's still around. But he'll be sacrificed when it's time. 20 sitcoms who face tragic death. Tragic. I don't know if OD and it's tragic. Motherfucker just sitting at home high and the motherfucker like, oh, let's go in here. Oh, let me see what these are. Winterized. Okay, this is up my alley. I have these. And I have these. And these is harder than motherfucker to put on. Damn, that's how much they cost now? I didn't pay that much, I'm sure. But yeah, I have these. I could have bought these in the outlet. I saw these in the outlet maybe not this summer, this past summer, or early last fall maybe. I could have bought these, but I got these. But these are hard as hell to put on. I mean, I thought they'd give me a bigger one. I don't like going places wearing these. If I go somewhere where I know I ain't got to take them off, it's cool. But yeah, these are a bitch to put on. That's why I don't like the regular. Oh, that's the only ones. I mentioned winterized, and here they show it. So I think the other day I showed my boots. I got these too. I forget which one these are. These are the type of Max. I forget which one these are. But I got the boots out because I'm start wearing these motherfuckers. I forget what Max. The black ones is what really sold out of these, was the black ones. And now they're readily available. And I got wingtips all over, wingtips all on deck. Kind of a ski boot is what they call these, but this is from Red Wing. I got like 3 pairs. That pair right there, the Carolina blue ones, and that pair of boots up there. I love Red Wings. And for a heavy snow, it's a hard toe, but not a steel toe. Doc Martens, can't beat them. Heavy snow. So I don't think I wore these last year, maybe, and they're insulated. All the boots are insulated. All of them are insulated, except that pair's not insulated, and these are just kind of some dress boots here. But these are insulated, and those other pairs are all insulated too. And the ones I showed you, the winterized Jordans, all of them are insulated too. Cause you know that motherfucking hawk boy. That's the fucked up thing about like you go to a basketball game in the winter and it be fucking cold, and you know you get back out. That's why I really tend not to wear my basketball shoe or my hoop shoes in the wintertime. That's why I've been like really breaking all my boots in, wearing them again, breaking them in for the winter, get used to wearing them. But yeah, when that hawk hits and you ain't got some shit with insulation, your feet will get cold quick. If you just the kind of person that's inside, going out quick, but you never know. Like, say you go to a game and you park a little further out, you got to walk to get your car. So and it's kind of cold. When it's like that minus shit, that shit gets rough. I got a stadium jacket, and we had like minus shit, wind chill, and it was like I had to get out to let my wife park because the cars next to each other and shit is just easier not to get shit on you because I ruined a shirt like that. But anyway, I had to that little few minutes outside. Oh man, that it when they say chill to the bone, it gets cold where it chills to the motherfucking bone. That shit is not fun. That shit is not fun to be chilled to the bone. But if you have, but the feet warm and you have a warm coat, and again, I'm a big believer in wearing cotton and real material. Even if you get a down coat, the down feathers are real. So even though they have nylon and shit in the coats, but the feathers are real. So I'm into wearing as much as real clothes as possible. Wools, real cottons. I'm into that. I try not to wear, the fake stuff too much. So, and I would suggest you do the same. The more cotton you wear, because it's alive. That's why they want you to wear the spandex shit. Because again, it's not alive. Serial shoplifter arrested after stealing 5,000 in night gear from Atlanta. Is it really that important? You got to go out and steal the shit, steal athletic clothes. Hell, you can go to Goodwill and get you probably as much athletic clothes as you want. So, well, I think I've went on and I talked about enough debauchery. This wasn't gonna be a long show, I always try to end with a little philosophy too. I'm not one dimensional. Yeah, I'm also highly. I forgot to show this. I got this up in the UP, Northern Wisconsin, UP in Michigan. But I think this was some more Palo Santo. Really strong. Yeah, this is really strong. But I got some new stuff. I burned up about most of my other stuff. But so I got 3 new pieces. Way to burn it. Maybe the next full moon in December. Or just when I come in here and meditate, burn it. So, and smoking good. Shit, I got this whole bag. This shit is going to last me well through the holidays. I don't know when I'm going back to Michigan. And we get here, I got a friend that's got a backyard full. So I know I can buy some or he'll give me some, So, not going to run out. Because I've damn near run out of my cart. I didn't bring it. I didn't. Yeah, I did. And I didn't get any more when I was up there because this shit makes your throat so fucking dry. These disposables, they just, to me, they dry your throat out. But high THC, and they don't keep you, like you smoke these, you only stay high about 15, 20 minutes. You smoke a joint or a bowl or a bong, you'll stay high for a few hours. So these is kind of like, short-term buzz. So, well, that's all I really. Oh, let me just give some positive vibrations. Again, I gave them in the sounds in the very beginning. You go to my old, if you want a sound bath, just go to some of my old videos. I definitely do sound baths in my old videos. If you want to really get in tune, just look at one of my old videos where I do the sounds in the beginning. If you go like 2005 video, I actually are doing the bowls themselves. Later, I put the bowls in the board here, and I've since only got really 2 of the sounds left, but it's a good way to do a sound bath if you want to sit through and listen to the vibrations, because it's all about raising your vibration high is how the things go for you. It's no, like when I go in there and play pickleball, I don't get on the players, when they make mistakes, and I just, I go with it. I go with the feeling. Now, little short story today. So my boy Ben, I call him Destroyer. I'm the Annihilator. He's the Destroyer, and he hit a dude. The dude like it went by him and hit him in the chest, like off his paddle. And the dude threw his paddle down. I thought he was gonna go into Ben's face, but again, Ben is about 6'3", 6'3.5", and dude is about 6'1", and so Ben would have mopped him. But again, the dude just walked off because I was done playing. I wasn't gonna play, and then of course I always play with Ben, but it was just kind of funny. But it was kind of funny. But dude is a hothead anyway, and so. But I say, fuck him right now. You tripping? He was tripping. Motherfucker was tripping. But it's like, but little things like that. Why would that have such an impact if you wasn't, kind of something wasn't already fucked up for you? Why would that have such an impact? Why would that be the one thing just to ruin your day? It's like, they say, Jamie Foxx said, you better blow that shit out. And that's really what it is. You choose if your vibrations is high or not. That's a choice. You choose your mood. That's your choice. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. You can choose to take the information differently. Perceive it how you want. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like, again, you should always show a poker face if you out and about and some shit comes. You don't even have to show people your emotion. Now, like when I play pickleball, I show my own disappointment in myself, but I don't try to show emotion with anybody else. It's just me. What I didn't do good, but I don't really try to trip off what somebody else does. And I don't be yelling or coaching. Just do what the fuck you want to do. You get it, you get it, you don't. So that way, I'm not going up and down. And that's just life. It doesn't matter what's thrown at you. How are you going to perceive the information? And how are you going to help it build you instead of the information or the task tearing you down? Because that's all work is. Work becomes a lot of task. And how do you handle the task? Even you work on a machine doing parts, you're still doing a task. Because most machines, when you do parts, you run so many parts for so long, then you'll switch over to other parts. Whatever you do, though. You're trying to write a program, or you do CAD, and how valuable CAD is. And so you control how your emotions go day to day. And again, that's Ma'at. Ma'at really says you should be emotionless. And that's what a lucid liver really is. When you lucid living, you are the observer. It's like all this is fake around you, but it's all meant for you to decipher it. It's meant for you to decipher everything that's around you and how you perceive it. So you become the master lucid liver. Instead of it mastering you, and you just caught in the, how the drain, you just caught in the movement of the mud. Instead of you being on top of the mud, you just get caught into it. You haven't achieved Ma'at. Again, which is lack of emotion. So you can pay in 4 payments. Yeah, you can pay in 4 payments. I love the Space Jams growing up. Yeah, I did too. I had those. Well, again, I was grown. I didn't keep all the dials and stuff because we had a stuffed Jordan, we had a hard Jordan, and my boys would I don't know why he took the Jordan clothes off. The nigga was like, my son had to be 11 or 12 when he did it, or maybe slightly young. Well, they're 6 years apart, so maybe he was 11. And I'm like, why you take all the clothes off Jordan? Because they both had one. One had a soft one, one had a hard one. Those might be worth something. So I had those too. But that's, being 64 and looking at the world and taking it in the way I want to take it in instead of being dictated to me. Try to be better every day. I've got my faults, and as we all do. Like I said, I mostly try to eat fish, but the other day my wife made some freaking sausage, and I rarely eat pork. I really was like, I was about to make some fish. I was like, man, I don't really want this fucking, because she cut up she made like a stew and shit. She called it a hash, but so I was like, fuck it, I'll just eat the shit. But I've cut down on burgers. I haven't had burger in months. Really cut down on them. And that's the thing. My wife is on a kick where she cuts out dairy, she cuts out sugar, and she's 25, 26 day in it. And so you take all this away, and then you slowly introduce it back to yourself to see how it affects you. And she's really just feeding, because my wife is like, she's a caffeine junkie, no doubt. She will take an open Diet Coke, and sometimes she gets the lack of caffeine, but most of the time it's just a Diet Coke with caffeine in it, and then stop at Starbucks. So she starts drinking the Diet Coke, goes to Starbucks and get a cold coffee, and drinks both of them on her way to work. And I don't know how many times. So she would come home, when we first got together, she would come home, be so wired up and didn't even notice it. And now she's just now seeing the effects of what caffeine was doing to her. Because now she's cut, she can't have Starbucks. She can only drink black coffee, which she don't really like. I like black coffee. The first thing I do is when I make some decaf coffee, I stick chocolate and suck the chocolate off as it melts into the thing. So I like bitter. It's funny, if you want your nails to grow, She Legit and chocolate make your nails grow. So I've always gotta, because they get long and break, it shit hurts. So, um, but it's an interesting thing to, she's like, "Are you gonna do it with me?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna eat chocolate." Like, no, because I don't really eat a lot of sweets. My chocolates goes from I like 100% chocolate. The lowest I get is 72% chocolate. So you eat 4 pieces, you're still only talking about 7 grams of sugar. So not very much. I try to really, not have hardly any sugar at all, other than the natural kind that comes from grapes, um, and fruits. Natural ones. I have real nice juice I bought that has some beets in it, a little bit of everything. So we go to a co-op where we get the minerals and stuff. Oh, let me talk about this now. As I was saying, I will repeat this, like sea moss and what's it called? I'm tripping now, but the sea moss and the mushrooms. Yeah, the mushroom tablets. I said this. I started with this, like really the memory, and I know now I can't remember is what it's called, but it's for the most part it's helpful. All the minerals I'm taking, I really feel it, and She Legit is, I've been taking that for over 10 years, so it's helpful. Here I am saying something helps with memory. Oh, lion's mane. There it goes. Thanks for the hint. Lion's mane. But again, I'm gonna repeat myself for those that didn't hear it. It really makes me brighter. I really feel that the lion's mane, and the sea moss have really helped in my overall health. I really do. And I've been on both for about 3 or 4 months. I've been taking She Legit over 10 years. So, and as you get older, you want to, again, you definitely want to be thinking about how you eat. Now I know, like some people look at it as, well, this isn't a real reality, so it doesn't matter what we eat. And that's not always the case. Even though no matter what this reality is, the food does affect you. So it may be fake, but it still will affect you and your quality of life. So no matter what you think this reality is, there are things that will still affect you. You stand in front of a Mack truck on the highway, it will run you over and kill you. So no matter what you think this thing is, it still has that ability. But just because you die again, that don't mean it's the end. That's just what they want to scare you with. This energy continues on. And then that's the part about, going so deep into self, knowing that you've done the spiritual work, and that when it's time, you've already been going where you belong. And that's what meditation is for. That's what getting inside of yourself is for. Is setting yourself up so when you do go, you're comfortable going there. It's not all, just new. There's things that, in the next life you can hold on to, because again, they've been put there by your ancestors. It's in your DNA. That's why I don't know if you realize sometimes when you motherfucking, go into, yourself, you start seeing strands of DNA. And that's just the ancestors adding to everything that you're going through. because that's, what makes up you is making up all those different minds that it took to be you. You have a little bit of all that. It's like I've wore a chin beard all my life and never knew I have a little cliff like my great grandfather. My grandfather had a full booty chin. His shit was like this. My mother's father, his shit was fully like that. My shit ain't like that. My shit's more like his father's, just a little bit. But I never knew I had it because I always wore a chin beard almost my whole life. So I never knew I had a dent here like I have, which is the same place as my great grandfather's. So, but that's you're made up of all that. And as I was saying, the time to get in touch with them was definitely Halloween. But this whole time is enchanted. It really is an enchanted time. We are in the dark days from now until the 21st. And so these are the times where the veil is thinned, not just for Halloween, but just in general, because we are in dark so much. So just as I love the long days of May, and I'm sad when they go away, because it's like we get 16, 15, 16 hours of day. Well, we're getting the equivalent of night right now. And those of you that like to get into yourself and meditate, this is great, to have this much dark. As I was coming back from northern Michigan and northern Wisconsin, I was thinking, wow, we were traveling at night and it was only like 6 o'clock. But you can travel so secretly at night, which is really kind of cool, other than looking out for motherfucking deer or moose. Because some of them places we was in that national forest, this big moose could come out. That's some bad motherfucking luck. You fucking run over a moose, that's real bad luck. and that does play a part. Time and place, time and place does play a part of it all. So now I've been sitting down. I know I'm getting stiff, so I'm gonna have to cut this shit short. I'm either going to see The Running Man tomorrow. Trying to think, it's 2 movies that come out tomorrow. Let's see. Because my wife is going to see that bullshit. She's going to see that bullshit Predator movie. See what's new movies tomorrow. Oh, I can put it in. Well, it's easier for the phone. At the theaters Thursday, which is preview day. Oh, they on some bullshit. Okay, maybe what's coming out this week? Predator, Badlands. No, it's tomorrow. Let's see if I can hit this. They have The Running Man. Oh, yeah, The Running Man is coming out. And Now You See Me. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, part about 1,000. That's coming out tomorrow. So Running Man, and that's coming out tomorrow. So I don't know. If my wife don't want to go see it after sitting in the movie tonight with her brother and mother and nephew, that's okay too. I can watch football. So, but 2 sorry teams play tomorrow. So yeah, I don't really care. But yeah, so that's all I really had. Love yourself. Let me see what the stocks do. I haven't been gone all day. Ethereum was over 4,000. Now it's back to 3,400. And even Bitcoin. I mean, think about, Bitcoin was up to 120,000. Now it's 101,000. So that's 20,000 you still lost. So, and even if you don't own a full share, you still the equivalent. You look at the equivalent of what you lost. See, they got gold right here. Usually they throw gold in here for me. Yes, gold is still 4,200. And I'll tell you guys, my mother got rid of a bunch of old junk gold, broken pieces, and got a grip. It was like, whoa. It was like, I took her up there where I deal, and I haven't been up there in a while. Because I always go up there and look I want to get some, better stereo equipment. I want to get a nice amp, and you can get amps from there especially antique old stuff. I want to get an old amp, get some old speakers, get an equalizer, and get an old Techniques turntable, and put it together like I used to have it back in the '80s and '90s. Quality sound. Where you hear that little record spinning, but just the way you could buy old music, you ain't got to spend a lot of money. The older parts are starting to cost a little more, but so I always go to the pawn shop to look for that. But gold is crazy. I mean, chains that used to be $400 is now, or a chain it'll be $800. You almost paying $1,000 more for that $800 chain, which is like 5 meters, something like 8 grams. Yeah, it's almost doubled in price in the last year. So, I think everything was trading today. Maybe I saw that. So, I said silver was down. What is it? Still, silver's over $53, which is really good, especially if you buy raw silver. It's not bad. Silver coins, gold coins, you're gonna keep your money. Gold and silver is a hedge. If you really think of and look at that, things like gold is